Cherish hope. Breathe. Take a moment, take a few, and someday soon you'll once again be able to stay in wonder at this magnificent view. The world's a crazy place right now, but don't worry, we'll still be here. We'll see you again soon.
Explanation of symbols on worksheets are as follows. Use coloring crayons to color the picture. Use your finger to follow the track or line or show the correct picture. Use a coloring crayon to draw a line or write a number or sound. Look at the picture and say the number or sound out loud. Use a scissors to cut on the dotted line. Look at the picture. Use these symbols for the lesson of the day, which will be allocated at the top right side of each page. For example, Lesson 1. Prepositions and directions.
Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Netsai. Today's theme is farm. Let's sanitize our hands. Rub, rub, rub your hands back, inside and forth. Now your hands and mine are clean. We have sanitized. Rub, rub, rub your hands back, inside and forth. Now your hands and mine are clean. We have sanitized. Remember to maintain a social distance. Today's lesson is counting. Now let's turn to the page 11. On page 11, what do we see? There is a lamb. Where do we find a lamb? We find it on the farm. It says color in the sheep. There is the mother sheep in the picture. Now let's look on the farm on my table. We have different kinds of animals lined up, and one of them is a sheep. So I would like you to turn back to page 11 and color in the sheep. Once you are done, we turn to page 12. On page 12, it says, write down the number of buckets. Color the boy. There is a boy standing right in the middle of the farm. He likes playing with his lamb. He likes looking after the sheep. He helps his father to carry the buckets of milk on the farm. So the boy is carrying one bucket. Now we need to count. Let's go back to our animals on the farm and count to see how many animals we have on the farm. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are supposed to be 7 animals. We will find out what happened to the 7th animal. Let's get back to the page 12 on our booklet. We need to count the number of buckets and try to see and remember the boy is carrying 1 bucket of milk. Now let's count the buckets together. Let's go together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7th bucket is being carried by the boy. Let's move over to the board. We need to practice once more how to count up to 7. I will be picking up the magnets from my table and placing them on the board. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All together we have 7 magnets on the board of different colors. Let's count the cups that I have here with me. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7th is right here. So we have 7 cups all together. Let's move back to our booklet on page 12. Remember, you need to count the number of buckets before you can write the number in the block. Include the bucket that the boy is carrying in his hand. Now let's write number 7 and color the picture of the boy. Once you are done, we turn over to page 13. On page 13, we are instructed to count. Let's count and see how many birds are seated on the branch. Let's count together from the left and point to the birds as we count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 birds on the branch altogether. But the instruction tells us we need to color 5 birds. Do we know how to count up to 5? Look at the dots just below the branch. Let's count and see how many dots. Let's go together and point to the dots as we count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's go back to the birds which are seated on the branch. of the tree. We need to color in only 5 birds. Let's count and stop at 5. Let's count the birds together as you point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you stop right there. Now let's color in 5 birds. In the next row, we are instructed to color 6 birds. Do we know how to count up to number 6? We have dots right under the branch. Let's count and find out how many black dots are under the branch. As you point and we count together. Let's go together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's go back to the branch where the birds are seated. Can you count 6 birds seated on the branch? Let's count together as you point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we stop right there. Now you need to color in 6 birds. The next activity at the bottom. There are dots right at the bottom of the branch. Count the number of dots and color in 7 birds seated on the branch. Once we have finished that activity, we need to move over to the next page. Let's turn to page 14 when we have finished with our activity. On page 14, I will read the instruction. It says, complete the numbers on the gates. Can you see the gates that are on the farm? Remember, we are talking about the farm. Let's look at the animals on the farm back a little bit more. Let's get back to the farm. We have the cow, we have the sheep, we have a duck, the horse, another cow, and we have a cock or a rooster. What will happen if we leave the gates open on the farm? I'm sure this animal will walk out and go astray. We do not want to lose our animals. Now let's get back to the worksheet again. We need to complete the numbers on the gates. The gates that are numbered, we are able to read number 1, there is number 5, there is number 6. But all together, how many gates are there? Can you point to the gates and count to see how many they are all together? We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, there are 7 gates on the farm. Now you need to write in the missing numbers. After number 1, what number comes next? Write it in to the open space of the gate just close to number 1 on the top row. When you are done, what number comes after the second number? It's right in the second row on the left-hand side in your booklet. Write the missing number. After the third gate, what number do you have to write? On the right-hand side in the second row. Let's look at the bottom numbers on page 14. Gate number 5 has been numbered and gate number 6 has been numbered. Now let's look what is the next number that comes after 6. Once you have done that completion of numbers, I would like you to go back to the top page once more. There are 2 more questions for you to complete. How many gates are closed? Let's look closely. Remember, we are on the farm. Can we leave the farm gates open? What will happen to our farm animals? And write the number of gates that are closed in the top box or top block. The next question says, how many gates are open? Do we have any gate that is open on page 14? Look closely at all the gates. Once you have finished that activity, I would like to say, well done. Read the lesson. Now it is time for us to sanitize our hands. Rub, rub, rub your hands back, inside and forth. Now your hands and mine are clean. We have sanitized. Rub, rub, rub your hands back, inside and forth. Now your hands and mine are clean. We have sanitized. Remember to keep your safe social distance at all times. Now it is time for us to invite Zoe. It is time for us to say goodbye to Zoe. Bye, Zoe.
In a time of uncertainty, false news, and fear, learn on. While the world scrambles to make new sense, while the experts turn around in circles, trying to find their way back to tomorrow, learn on. When classrooms become empty cathedrals and the trees start to bear answers, learn on. Learn on until every parent is a teacher and every teacher is a mentor. Learn on until you cross the boundaries of your mind, until you grow eyes and sprout wings. My friend, learn on. On sidewalks, on the floor, at the neighbors, in the market, in hallways, in churches, under trees, at kitchen tables, in riverbeds. Learning doesn't only happen between four walls. Learning happens in the small space of your enormous, beautiful mind. Start where you are. Use what you have. Learn on one. Invite learning in.
Akili, 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 akili. Will you wash your hands with me? I want to wash my hands with you. Come on, I will show you what to do. Wash your hands in clean water. Wash your hands, wet them with the water. Wash your hands, now add some soap. Scrub your hands in the soap and water. Scrub above and below between the fingers too. Scrub under your nails and scrub-a-dub-a-doo. Rinse your hands in water. Rinse them clean, rinse away the soap. Dry your hands and go.
Akili, why do we wash our hands?
To wash away the germs.
Akili, what are germs?
They're like tiny little bugs on your hands, and they can make you sick.
But I don't see any germs on my hand.
That's because they're so tiny that you can't even see them.
Oh wow! I want to wash the germs away. Will you wash your hands with me, Akili?
Of course! Wash your hands in clean water. Wash your hands, wet them with the water. Wash your hands, now add some soap. Scrub your hands in the soap and water. Scrub above and below between the fingers too. Scrub under your nails and scrub-a-dub-a-doo. Rinse your hands in water. Rinse them clean, rinse away the soap. Dry your hands and go. Great job, Huruma! Can you tell me the 4 things we did to wash our hands?
I can try.
1.
Wash our hands with water.
2.
Put soap on our hands.
3.
Scrub our hands all over.
4.
Rinse our hands clean with water.
Wash your hands, wash the germs away.
Beautiful souls, this is Nikita Winkler and I'm here to share easy tools for stretching that you can do just about anywhere. This is a demonstration, so what's most important is that you take the time in each position that your body needs to release its tension. In this session, we will stretch the hips. What you'll need are yoga blocks or books, thick books, or pillows, especially if you have tight hips. You can do this on a mat, on the floor, on a blanket, or even in your bed. Let's get started. So we're going to start on the floor with the soles of our feet together. I'm going to grab around the feet. This is a butterfly position. So in order to warm up the hips, I'm just going to flap the butterfly wings. And again, take your time. I'm going to lean forward. And here, again, if the hips are too tight, you can place your blocks, books, or pillows underneath. You might even feel a stretch in the back here. From this position, I'm going to take one arm right behind me, not too far from my body. The other arm, inhale, exhale, press the hip open. And come back to center. Change. One arm right behind me to lengthen the spine, the other hand on the knee. Inhale, exhale, press the hip open. And back to center. Now we're going to lie down on the floor. And first, before I get started, I have to make sure that my body, my spine is in alignment. I'm going to just open up the neck area. And you can spend as much time as you need here, allowing the force of gravity to weigh on the legs to open up the hips. You can place your blocks, books, or pillows underneath the knees. And gradually, you can take the feet even further down and spend enough time in each position. From here, we're going to go into an internal hip rotation. I'm going to spread my feet to the side, lean the knees inwards. If you have a little bit more flexibility, you don't really feel the stretch, just take your feet even further apart to deepen this internal rotation stretch in your hips. From here, I'm just going to place my feet, and without repositioning the feet, I'm going to take my arms to the side, and then I'm just going to rock my legs side to side, keeping the upper body facing up, shoulders down. And then I'm going to stop on one side, take the lower leg over the upper to add weight to deepen the stretch. Release the leg and switch. Other side, lower over the upper. And back to center. Last part, I'm going to spread my legs as wide open as I can, and I'm going to just row the boat. So what's important here is that the knees don't lift off the floor. Make sure you row both sides. Keep the knees and both bum cheeks on the floor. Alternatively, you can just lean forward. You can hang out on the pillow. Take your time on the blocks or on your books. And that is it. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to breathe into your stretches, and happy stretching.
Right in my heart, right in my heart.
The B10 Countdown airs every Saturday at 1800 hours on One Africa TV. Vote for your favorite music video by